right, up at the top on your next available page in your composition notebook, you are going to write adverbs as your title. We're going to be using the first 2 pages in your packet. This one has a bunch of question words on it and a little T or a plus symbol. And then the next one has the same symbols with some people in the middle. So we're going to rip these 2 guys off. These are going to be cut all the way around the outside. So this first foldable is just going to go on the first page. So I'm going to cut it all around the outside so it's a plus symbol when I have it all cut out. And then we're just going to glue the whole back side down. There's no flaps, and we're not writing underneath anything, just gluing the whole back side down. So we are moving out of, just because we took our quiz the other day, out of adjectives. And we're going to be looking at adverbs. So adverbs are kind of the same concept as adjectives, although they don't work with nouns. They work with verbs, as in what's included in the name of adverb, verb. So they have the same kind of description or job description as an adjective, but they describe verbs instead of noun. So you'll see that all these question words will help you to determine where an adjective is or what an adjective is in each sentence. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the next page set up. I'm going to do the same thing, cut these guys out all the way around the outside and glue the whole back side down. So I'm going to pause this. I'll cut them out. Don't glue them down yet. When I come back in the video, I will show you how to glue them in. All right, so on the next page, we're not going to put a title on this because we're going to need all the space up in the title here. So I'm going to end up gluing them. Let me zoom out a little bit here so you can see. This first one toward the top, the whole back side down. We're not going to write anything underneath. And then I'm going to glue this one right in line with that as much as I can here. Maybe I want to tuck this more on the inside so I don't have something hanging out. Okay, so they're going to look like this when it's all said and done. So go ahead and glue yours in. I will glue mine in, pause the video, and then just continue when you are done. All right, now that I have mine glued in, just like this, I'm going to move over to the first page that we cut out and glued in. And we're going to fill out these little boxes that we have here. So these are all the questions that adverbs answer. And when you're trying to find them in a sentence, you can find the verb and then ask yourself these questions. What we're going to do is we're going to list some common adverbs in each box that represent this question that's being asked. So in how often or how long, we're going to write the words always, often, sometimes, seldom, never, frequently, usually, and forever. So these are just a few examples. Like I've said before, not every single adverb that answers this question is listed in this box, but these are some pretty common ones. Okay, so now let's move over to, let's move down to the middle here. How, ly. You're going to find adverbs 80% of the time, maybe 75% of the time, ending in an ly. So those are always good clues to be looking for, ending in an ly. So how are they running? They're running quickly. Remember, they're describing a verb. Run is a verb. How are they studying? Studying is a verb. They're studying quietly. Easily, clearly, forgot the L. Feverishly, sluggishly, beautifully. That piece was beautifully written. So it's describing the verb written. Beautifully is the adverb. Okay. When, let's move over to when. Lots of ones that can describe this. Now, they're running now. They're leaving, then going somewhere else. They're going to catch the ball later. And they're going to be walking into the building soon. So walking soon. Okay, these are just examples, like I said again. Where, a lot of the times, this will be a common question. Where are they running? They're running here. Where are they throwing? They're throwing there. Where are they going? They're going away. Up, they're throwing the ball up. They're dancing inside. They're laying outside. Okay, feel free to pause this whenever you need to in order to copy down the rest of these. And we have one more box. How much and to what extent? This is maybe the most difficult question that adverbs answer, or may have the most difficulty finding an adverb by asking this question. Here are some examples. Most, nearly, they're nearly finished. How much are they finished, or to what extent are they finished? They're nearly finished. Quite, less, only, very, to, they're almost arriving, or to what extent are they arriving? Almost, so, and really. Okay, so then underneath this here, go ahead and pause this, I guess, if you need to really quick, and then we're going to move underneath the box right here and write some more. So adverbs, they describe verbs or the action of the sentence. You can have more than one describing a verb. So you can have more than one adverb working together before a verb. Sometimes they're not always right before the verb. Not always right before verb. Could be after or separated by other words. Okay, so go ahead and copy this down here, and then we'll move on to the next tab or the next page. Okay, so now we're going to look at, and I guess it doesn't matter which order you glued them in. We're going to start with the girl on this jet ski here, and we're going to describe this action going on. So let's think about what action she's doing. She's riding. Let's give her a name. Let's call her Katie. Katie rides. Okay, so we're going to write Katie rides. We're going to say, how does she ride? She rides fearlessly. Doesn't look like she's very scared. Looks like she's excited. So she rides how? Rides fearlessly, ending in an ly. When does she ride? She's riding right now. Where does she ride? I would say she's at the lake or on some water of some sort, obviously, but at the lake. How much or to what extent? So how much does she ride, or to what extent is she riding? She's riding, to what extent? She's riding a lot. Kind of looks like she's done it before. She's had a lot of practice. How much or to what extent? A lot, I would say. She looks pretty confident. Okay, so let's create a sentence using these here, talking about Katie rides. So let's do Katie rides fearlessly. Katie rides fearlessly at the lake. Right now, looking like she rides a lot. So I just combined all of those adverbs that we used into one sentence. Katie rides fearlessly. Here's an adverb, rides. Where does she, or how does she ride? Where does she ride? At the lake. When? Right now, or even right would be doing that. And then how much or to what extent? A lot. Okay. All right, so let's go down to the other one. The other one looks like it's a construction guy of some sort. So let's give him a name too. Let's just call him Dad. Dad works, let's say. And let's answer, how often or how long does he work? Sometimes. I would say this isn't a constant job, this jackhammering here. I would think that it's just every once in a while when they need it. So let's just do sometimes. When? Let's say Tuesday. Just make up a day. Where? Construction site. And how? Ly? Vigorously. Okay, now let's make a sentence for that. So Dad sometimes works at the construction site. You know what? We forgot to use this word. Dad sometimes works vigorously at the construction site on Tuesdays. Okay, so that vigorously would go right here. Forgot to add that in. Okay, so just to kind of give us an example, works is my verb, but sometimes works, sometimes is being used to describe works, where even though this construction site could be considered a noun because it's a thing, at the construction site could be considered an adverb in this case, but more so it's the word at and then whatever follows working all together as the adverb. And then Tuesdays, right now, that's a noun, that's a thing. Tuesday's a thing, but it's working as an adjective or an adverb to talk about where or when he works. And then vigorously, obviously, is an adverb. So you have a Google form attached to this assignment here after you're done with all these notes. So go ahead and log on and do that. And then when you're done, let me know.